Alright, so Warframe Weekly Reset. Let's go over it. This week for the Archon, we have Nyra. It looks like the first mission is Extermination. Then we have Interception, and then of course the Showdown. But yeah, it looks like that one's going to be pretty quickly done. We still have about a month's worth of time left on this, but Dog Days is currently running, which is a good way to get some mods like Nightwatch Napalm for the Ogress, and a couple other decent ones. Also, for the Sobek, you can get Acid Shells. But this is a good way to get those pretty easily. And we got some color palettes in there and a couple other little goodies. And we also had an affinity booster this weekend. We still have 14.5 hours left on that as of making this video. So if you're still wanting to level up some stuff, doing that, stacking a regular affinity booster on it, and maybe even a blessing from one of the relays will help you level stuff up pretty quickly. For the circuit this week, we have for the base frames, Gara, Korra, and Revenant. Now Gara and Korra can both be gotten from bounties. So I would say, recommend at least, Korra is a pain in the butt to farm up because she's through Sanctuary Onslaught and her parts, at least for me, didn't like the drop for me. So I would recommend her. Gara and Revenant, you can run the bounties pretty easily on Earth to grab those. So Korra would definitely be a good pick. For the Incarnate adapters this week, we have the Lex, Magistar, Boltor, Bronco, and Ceramic Dagger. I would say Magistar for sure. And the Ceramic Dagger is also a lot of fun to play with that. And then the Lex, I've heard a lot of good things about that. So Magistar and Ceramic, I would definitely recommend if you haven't gotten those yet. Bronco, I don't know. I think I've leveled up the Bronco Prime and then got rid of it because I didn't like it. But I don't know how the Incarnate for this would be. But anyways, let's go on to the next setup. We got Riven mods and we got Kuva. If we go to a relay, talk to Teshin, we can see what our weekly reward from him is. And it looks like a shotgun Riven mod. They move things around here. They put all that stuff up there. It's going by name. Newest. Huh. I must have accidentally changed that at some point. Anyways, we got the shotgun Riven mod. I'll go ahead and pick up this cipher real fast. And then if you're also curious about what Ergo's got for T-Net weapons this week, we've got the Ferox, Magnetic 26%, Grigori 25%, Heat. We have the Livia at 34% radiation, the Exec 31% electricity, and it looks like the Agendas at 26% radiation. None of these are super high on the status chance there, so that's up to you. Corrupted Hollow Keys, we have a day left before these actually roll over though. And then with the Arthritis shop, let's see what she's got. Looks like a Companion Riven mod, a Melee Riven mod, looks like a Forma Blueprint, Kuva, Working Catalyst Blueprint, and that's about it for the week. Prime Resurgence, still Equinox and Wukong along with their weapons. So if you haven't gotten those, just make sure you're farming up some Aya and buying up some of these relics to crack. Now with the Nightwave, we actually have the Ceramic Dagger on rotation this week. So if you don't have that or the Incarnate adapter for it, now you can get both this week. So Ceramic Dagger and the Dark Dagger. And that's it for the weapons. So we've got Enemy Radar as an aura. We have Energy Siphon as another aura. We have Physique, which gives you and your squad extra health. And I think that's it for the auras too. A couple augment mods in here. We got Volt, Recharge Barrier, and Power of 3. Out of the aura mods, looks like Physique's probably the best. Energy Siphon being the second. And Enemy Radar if you don't have it. And for the Hex rewards this week, we have, it looks like Omniforma Blueprint along with a double Arcane pack. And then we have Kuva, 2000 Kuva, and 6000 Endo. Then we have the option of secondary Arcane adapter or an Arcane. And then an Orc Catalyst Blueprint along with the Emerald Shard. That's nice. Then we have 6000 Kuva or another double Arcane pack. And then we have a regular Arcane and 2000 Kuva. And the Coda weapons for the next 3 days, we have the Catalyst, 27% Toxin, Hema, 25% Magnetic, Mire, Toxin, 26%, Motivore, 26% Cold, Pox, 43% Impact, 29% Toxin on the Fortrix, and the Torsica, 25% Magnetic. There's 3 days left on that. None of them look like a decently high percentage. There's a 43% Impact down here on the Pox. Other than that, the rest of them are pretty low. We're gonna look at the Temporal Archimedia as soon as I open the picks pack that I forgot that I had, I guess. So for the Temporal Archimedia, we have Legacite Harvest, Defense, and then we have Hell Scrub Tech Rot. And then we have what here? Risk Variable, Corrupted Flesh, Heavy Warfare, and then Hell Scrub, we have It's Alive, Bolstered, Belligerence. Oh, all enemies have Overguard equal to 50% of their max health. So that's going to be fun. What was the Legacite Harvest here? We have Growth Hormones, so They are more powerful with each generation but take longer to escape. Enemy guns launch large slow-moving orbs instead of usual ordnance. An entanglement, 4 meter. If you're within 4 meters of slain enemies, you get reduced parkour and movement speed. Constricted, transference distortion. I hate when they do that one, but I guess it's what we got to deal with. Undersupplied and fractured armor. So we can't go in our operator if we do all the debuffs. And constricted, max energy reduced by 75%. Fun, super fun. Now constricted, I do like if we're running our Dantes through these, which you rely so much on energy anyway, so everybody knows that. But if you do run preparation up there in your Exilus mod slot, that helps out quite a bit, especially when you're first starting out. Now the preparation will fix the little boost at the beginning. Doesn't help with the overall energy pool, but it does give you maximum energy when you first spawn in. So that's a nice boost to get your overguard up really fast and at least go from there. Now we can check with Bird here in the Sanctum. Looks like we get a red shard this week for 30,000 standing. Now here with the Sanctum Archimedia, we have Mirror Defense, Alchemy, and Survival. So no assassinations this week. Debuffs are Hypersensitive, Untreatable, Frame Curse, and Dual Blades. Now, I did see a lot of people using the Healing Spectre, so we don't have a gear embargo this week, so you can actually equip that and throw that out. That's really helpful, especially over in the Temporal Archimedia, keeping Flareon alive, keeping him healed. So that's a nice, useful thing. I always forget to put it in my gear wheel, but I've seen people using it. I'm like, that's smart. Got to keep on doing that. Anyways, this is the Archimedia. Other than spinning your riven slivers, that's all I got for you this week. That's the Warframe Weekly refresh, reset, whatever you want to call it. And I will see you guys, well, Tuesday's the next stream, so I'll see you guys then.